Hi, we know there's a lot of controversy each year over Australia Day being on January the 26th. Some people call it Invasion Day, some call it Survival Day, and we know that this is the date of the arrival of the First Fleet in this nation, and we know that had a huge impact on the original inhabitants, the First Nations people of Australia. And there is an ongoing effect of that. However, William Cooper in 1938, for the 150th anniversary of white settlement in Australia, called a day of mourning, and he and the Australian Aborigines League, mostly based in Melbourne, Yorta Yorta people, joined with the New South Wales leaders of William Ferguson, Jack Patton and others, and they staged a protest. The protest took the form of a meeting at Australia Hall, and basically an important resolution was passed there, which they later took to Prime Minister Joseph Lyons. Now, William Cooper could have continued having a protest every year on January the 26th. However, he chose not to do that. He said that he wanted the following year, which was 1939, to be a day of hope rather than a day of mourning. And he went to see the National Missionaries Council to set up Aboriginal Sunday, a day that people in the churches of Australia, and many people did go to church in those days, could find out more about the situation of Aboriginal people, and Aboriginal people could commemorate their role in this nation of ours. So amazingly, that Aboriginal Sunday, which was 15 years ongoing, it was held before it got changed from January, the closest day to Australia Day, that Aboriginal Sunday was held, and it was changed to July, and gradually over the years it became known as National Aborigines Day, and then later on as NAIDOC. And so we celebrate that still today as the National Aboriginal and Islander Day Observance Committee. So I think it's very interesting that William Cooper, although he was very grieved at the situation and treatment of Indigenous people in Australia, First Nations people, he didn't actually want to keep it as an ongoing day of protest. He wanted to turn it into a day of hope. And so one of the things that Norman and I have done over a number of years, we've actually visited the Yabun Festival held by the Sydney Indigenous community, and it's actually a day of celebration of Aboriginal culture, a celebration of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander survival. And so it is an absolutely wonderful time for adults and children, with sports and cultural events, and also panels of teaching about Aboriginal history and current events. So I just want to say today, that's something for us to think about, that William Cooper, because he felt at the time that First Nations people were left out of Australia Day, he actually set up a day that is still commemorated today. Today we actually have a whole week of celebrations, so at which non-Indigenous people join as well and celebrate with First Nations people in Australia. So I want to salute William Cooper and say that's something that we can think about today, his legacy and what Australia Day and NAIDOC mean to us, because there's a big link between them that we may not have realised before. Thank you.